2018, BMW came out with its smallest ever GS model, which can cause you so much fun and pleasure that it's really worth to know it.
The technical basis of the bike are coming from the last year presented G310R model, which is a naked motorbike. From that only the engine and the main parameters are coming. The suspension and mainly the whole design are totally different. As BMW wrote on this bike the legendary two letters G and S, they really want to bring all the things which made the GS combination a legend to the 21st century. As I have already mentioned, the engine is coming from the G310R. The parameters are the same, 313 cubic centimeters, the power is 34 brake horsepower, and the torque is 28 Newton meter. What it is enough is that with this motorbike you can ride according to the laws on public roads, we can say. So even when you're riding on highway, it can keep the maximum speed which is allowed in Hungary, which is 130 kilometers per hour. But even if you are going uphill with one person, with a 100 kilogram person as me, it can keep according to the dashboard the 134, 135 without problem. So it's really enough for public road rides, and to ride on soft terrains it's more than enough. Let's speak about the main difference between the naked bike and the GS version. This is the suspension. In the front we also have two telescopic forks. The diameter is 41 millimeters, but the travel is much longer, 40 millimeters longer. In the rear, the central unit allows even more difference between the wheel moving, because it's nearly 50 millimeters more than in the case of the naked version. At this bike, the G310GS, both of the wheels can travel 180 millimeters, which is absolutely enough and sufficient if you are not overweighting the motorbike. So it is mainly for one person or for two really light person. And I can show you the best way if I sit on the motorbike, because then you will be able to see that this is the way as the whole bike is moving. So it is really soft, even on very, very bad paved roads. It's absolutely comfortable. What is really surprising, yesterday I could ride with it. It was not planned at all, just the life brought it like this. I could ride a few miles on a small racetrack. I thought that it was much worse. In the reality, it was really a joy to ride a bike, so in very tight curves and tricky curves. And when you are riding on soft terrain, dirt roads and things like this, it's really absolutely comfortable. Of course, with my body size, it's really a big thing to stand up on the motorbike. I cannot really ride it in that position, but even that I was sitting in most of the cases, it really went through everything pretty easy and very funny. The brake system is absolutely the same as it is on the naked model. In the front we have one single disc. The diameter is 300 millimeters. It has a radial caliper with 4 pistons, so of course it's only a part of the design, and it is coming from Biber, which is the Indian division of Brembo. In the rear we have a 220 millimeter disc with a single piston caliper, and this whole system, which is working absolutely separated in the front and in the rear, is absolutely enough and sufficient for the knowledge and the power and the speeds you can reach with this motorbike, and especially related to this whole really soft suspension. What I liked very much, that of course it has an ABS, but on this version it can be switched off, and as on all the other BMWs, it can be switched off even when you are riding with the bike. So if you run with big throttle on a gravel road, then it's only a few seconds and you don't have ABS and you can stop safely. The dashboard is very simple. It's absolutely digital. On the right top corner we see the time. We always see the exact speed. We have a gear indicator. In the downer part we can see the RPM, which is working like this. So you can read it down pretty well even in closed helmet, because the dashboard is positioned pretty high, and we always see the amount of fuel we have. And we also have a small computer here, which can be changed only from this one button on the dashboard, so not from the handlebar. It has two different daily counters and engine temperature. We can see the range of the motorbike. We see the average consumption. Just to mention, this 4.5 is approximately the maximum I could reach, even when traveling on highway with 130 or over 130 kilometers per hour, or using the bike relatively big throttles on gravel. It was also the same if you are riding on normal public roads with a 90 to 100, 110 kilometers per hour, or inside the cities, then it is easily going under 4, even more to 3.5 liters. We see the consumption permanent and the average speed of the motorbike and the date, and we can go to the setup of the whole dashboard, and that's all. We came back to the overall distance counter. It is absolutely enough for this bike and this knowledge. Speaking a few words about the design, the engineers and the designers at BMW worked very hard to bring back as many points of the big GS's, the present big GS's design elements as just it is possible. Have a look at the first part of the motorbike, absolutely the same as on the 1200. This small area where the big ones are pulling in the air. Here the air is going to the engine from an absolutely different position, but the design is here. The whole silver part with the BMW logo, absolutely the forming of the whole fuel tank, the colors, the letters, everything. And even when we are coming to the back part of the motorbike, this whole rear section, which can take easily a standard BMW top case, and gives a good keeping possibility for the passenger. So this is all coming from the big brothers. The only difference is the seat, which is made from one piece. The seat height is 835 millimeters. You can buy the motorbike with 15 millimeters higher and 15 millimeters lower seat if you wish. Of course, for me, the higher one or the highest one would be the good. The seat comfort is really not bad at all, even for the passenger, because not the seat and the place will be the narrow part of the bike, but as I have already mentioned, the maximum load, which is altogether 175 kilos. So if an average, let's say European or maybe American rider and passenger are going with the bike, then this suspension is going to reach its maximum pretty fast. Maybe the situation in India is a little bit better. It's not nice to finish a review with a negative thing, but let me mention something that I really didn't like in the case of the motorbike. This is the wind protection, because there is this small windshield in the front, but the only thing it is making is noise. Yesterday I could ride an MV Agusta Brutale 800 RR with much higher speeds than the top speed of this one, and even there my helmet was pretty silent. On this bike at 130 the noise is really unbelievable. So I'm really sure that on the aftermarket the different extra windshields for the G310GS are going to be really good sellings for all the companies like Touratech, Wunderlich and things like this, and Kappa and etc. But all in all, we can say that this bike, the BMW G310GS, is really bringing back everything about what and all the things from which the GS letter combination became legendary, because it's a really soft working motorbike which can be ridden pretty well on curvy roads and on soft terrains as well. Of course it is not for racetrack, of course it is not for hard enduro riding, but it can work well everywhere. There is only one thing that you have to deal about, is the power output of it. So if this top speed and top acceleration is enough for you, then for pretty low money related to BMW brand, you will get an absolutely extremely lovable bike.
Please push a like for the video, subscribe for our channel and watch our other reviews.